Place romances, uncomfortable for some and fairy tale-like for many others. Here's some of what you had to say.
It's like a double-edged sword. It could either work out to be really good or work out to be really bad. Because who wants to look at an ex all day long at work?
I think it's okay for them to start in the workplace as long as it's not interfering with the duties of the job.
I don't know if it's really a great idea because you never really, you don't always know where a relationship's going to go.
I love what the first guy said. It could be really good, it could be really bad. Well, so far it's really good for this couple that you're about to meet right now, Jess Barron and Chris Strimbu. Congratulations on your engagement, joining us from Los Angeles.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So how did it evolve? I mean, love at first sight, you all are working together and you decide, you know what, let's try this, or was there some other influence?
No, it actually happened that way. The first time we had ever met was actually in a conference room at a meeting at Yahoo when I first started there my first week. And I think there was an initial attraction, that physical attraction that you always have towards somebody. And it developed over time, over a course of 4 months.
But for a minute, Chris, were you saying, no way, I am not getting involved with somebody I work with?
Absolutely, yeah. I've never been one to date somebody that I work with or be involved in a relationship like that.
So what made you go forward with it anyway?
Well, we both had a lot of discussions about it, and actually when we were, actually courting each other and spending a lot of time with each other, we started to realize that it was developing into something a little bit more than just dating. So we decided to see what would happen and just kind of keep it on the down low at work and see what happened.
Oh, interesting. So, Jess, Chris says you all talked about it. In fact, that's one of the things that if you were listening to the top of the show, Robin Bond, who's an employment attorney, said, yeah, these are one of the things that you need to explore when thinking about getting into a relationship with someone. You need to talk about the parameters. How did you all have a discussion about whether or not to date?
Well, we took that very seriously. I was actually a manager at Yahoo at the time, and so I took my career very seriously, and I'd been working there for 4 years, and I knew all about the training that you have about A, sexual harassment, B, relationships in the workplace. So Chris and I went and looked and actually researched all of the documentation on that to find out what the exact rules and legality were.
Oh.
And we also
Were
decided—
you his manager, by the way?
No, I was not his manager.
Checking.
I definitely, yeah. So, but I did have men on my team as well as women, and they were all coworkers of ours, and our teams worked alongside each other. So we didn't want to do anything that would cause any problems with our friends and coworkers. And so it was good that we took things very slow. We also talked about public displays of affection. We're both pretty private people, so we did not want to have any public displays of affection, no holding hands or kissing in the workplace.
No kissing at the desk.
No kissing at the news desk. Or in, we definitely treated each other very like colleagues in meetings and other things.
So you really came up with your own rules of engagement, which probably really, I guess, protected some of the respect and your credibility that you had with your other coworkers, because I'm sure, they probably didn't want to see you guys smooching all the time either, or getting too gooey goo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there was a gossip mill. I mean, even before we got together, I think some people thought, oh, there's a flirtation going on. So we tried to make sure everything to talk to people, let them know what was going on. And I was so nervous about it, and I think he was too. And when we told the people that worked with us, they actually were very happy for us. And they said that it was, absolutely normal. And they actually made us feel a lot better about the whole situation.
So were you more nervous about what other people were thinking, or were you nervous about what happens if this doesn't go well? I got to see this person, even, after we break up, if it were to come to that.
Yeah. Both of those. I mean, we took a lot of time. It was 4 months between when we met and our first kiss, and we definitely debated it and talked about it many, many times beforehand, whether we should go forward with any kind of a relationship, because we didn't want A, to hurt either of our careers, or B, to have to see the person if it didn't work out. So taking it slowly actually was a really smart decision, and I think it's helped our relationship a lot.
Wow. Okay. Well, you guys could have helped write the rules that Robin Bond expressed earlier, because that was another one. She said, take it slow. That was her recommendation if you're thinking about getting into a relationship. So you're engaged now. When's the wedding? Have you gotten that far?
It's going to be next summer, likely August or September next year.
Okay. Congratulations, Jess and Chris. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Our Josh Les has been hearing from other couples via iReport who have very similar stories, and meaning happy endings.
Yeah, you know, I've been like a yo-yo the last 20 minutes.
That's another way of looking at it,
That's
right?
good. New
Not an
beginning.
ending.
Well, some new beginnings followed an ending, which people write about previous relationships. It's interesting, Fred. First, we were looking at, you know, some of these time they lead to marriage, right? And then we heard from the ethicist, watch out, it can get really disastrous. Don't do this. Now we're hearing these great stories, and there's some right here. Let's zoom into the photos. I got 3 photos to show you from iReport.com. People writing us about how they met at the workplace. This first one is from iReporter Lori Meyer in Newport Beach, California. She fell in love with and married the new office attorney. That's how they got together. The next one over here, iReporter Lori Yeager, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Now, these two knew that HR did not like the idea of them dating, so they kept it secret until they got engaged a year into their relationship. And finally, this one over here. Amber DeGrace wrote us from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. She and her now husband met at work in 2005, and their company was opposed to their romance, she says, but they kept it professional while they were there, and ultimately it blossomed into love. So you can see some beautiful love stories there.
And a family.
And a family, but to be fair, we are also hearing from some people at iReport who are saying, wait a second, this is not a good idea. Here's an example.
Are we going to? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, here you go.
Let's hear.
Yeah.
It leads to trouble, and it just puts everyone in your business. Not to mention the fact, do you really want to see someone on and off the clock? It just kills the buzz, the romance, the spark.
So yeah, Fred, for some people it just won't work, you know?
Oh, that's right. All right. Well, coming up, Josh, we're going to hear from 2 female authors who wrote the books, so to speak, on workplace romance. But first, we've got to get past their very racy titles. Wait till you hear them.